Hi, this is Vrinda. This is Rahul Gandhi lugging along the names of 25 lakh fake voters that the Congress claims have been used to manipulate the results of the 2024 Haryana Assembly elections. Rahul says that it took his team and him many weeks before he felt that he was ready to finally bring out the findings of his investigation into the public. Everything was checked and then cross-checked multiple times over and over again.
I must tell you, I struggled to believe it. I was in shock. I simply could not believe what I saw. I told the team that, listen, cross-check this, not from one source, cross-check it multiple times, again and again and again and again. And what you're seeing today is the result of that process. What we are saying, and we are absolutely going to prove it to you 100% using data.
This is also the first time that Rahul has directly leveled charges against leaders and workers of the BJP. From playing the press conference of the Haryana Chief Minister Naib Singh Saini to giving the example of two different sarpanchs of the BJP, Rahul ends his presentation with this image. Nitish Kumar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Amit Shah and Gyanesh Kumar in one frame, and the text overlay says, Sarkar Chori, Ab Ki Baar, Bihar. Rahul shows photographs of voter lists that show that a BJP sarpanch has been found on the voter rolls in two different states. Does this not bother you as a voter of this country? This is not about whether this is an old or an upcoming election. It isn't about the state that you are living in. This is about the conduct of the Election Commission. What is the Election Commission doing if members of one party are navigating the voter lists of various states and harboring more than 60 voters on one home address? What you are going to see now is a longer segment from Rahul's press conference, but it is worth listening to about how he is talking of the proofs that he has found and how he believes that the Election Commission is colluding with the BJP to manipulate elections.
Now this is absolute crystal clear proof of what the BJP is doing. Thousands of voters, BJP voters, BJP leaders voting in Uttar Pradesh and voting in Haryana. Okay? Zoom in please to Mr. Dalchand. This is Mr. Dalchand, BJP Sarpanch, sitting there with Mr. Minister Lakshmi Narayan. That's his voter ID in UP. That's his voter ID in Haryana. Same man. His son. Go back to the other one, please. That's right. That's his son, Yashveer. He comes here as well in Haryana. He's sitting in UP, voting in UP for the BJP. He's voting in Haryana for the BJP. Note an interesting thing. This is not a mistake. How do we know? Because Pita ka naam is Pritam Singh over there. Suddenly Pita ka naam changes over here. It's become Balakrishnan. Balkishan. And then his son doesn't make the same mistake. His son transfers his father's name there. So they managed to twist it in the father's one, but the son's one, they made a mistake. So you have a BJP leader who's voting in UP and who's voting in Haryana. And we've given you this as the strongest example. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are voting in UP and voting in Haryana. A lot of them have association with the BJP.
Rahul talks about a Vyavastha, a system, vote chori, that has allowed the BJP to win the Haryana state election. A system in which the Election Commission and the BJP are working together with each other to ensure victory in state after state. It is probably this claim that merits even greater attention. Are BJP leaders and workers getting two voter ID cards issued under their name? Look at any state elections news coverage. You will find news reports about hundreds and thousands of RSS and BJP workers coming into the state for elections, and then these workers engage in door-to-door campaigning and in public outreach. While this is declared to be a result of the BJP's organizational excellence, Rahul's claims cast a dark shadow on these claims. Are these workers here to engage in electoral campaigning, or are fake voters being pumped into different elections under the garb of volunteers?
Here's another one, Mr. Prahlad, BJP Sarpanch, Mathura district. There he is in UP. Here he is in Hodal Assembly. Same man, right? Here the same, father's name is the same, Totaram, Prahlad. And here he is standing with the nephew of Lakshmi Narayan. These are not two examples. There are thousands of these, where the entire large numbers of people are just picked up and they have the opportunity, because they belong to, are associated with the BJP, where they have the opportunity to be a voter in UP, to be a voter in Haryana, to be a voter in Madhepura, to be a voter in Varanasi. This option is available to the BJP. This is the vyavastha that man was talking about.
These charges cannot be taken lightly. The Election Commission ought to intervene and investigate. But can it? Can these allegations simply be dismissed because they are past a deadline? This is nothing but a modern day booth loot. The difference is just that this time it is not being done by local level thugs, but by someone who is in full control of the machinery that runs India's electoral politics. Rahul has raised another serious allegation that large numbers of voters have been found at one single address registered under the name of a BJP worker by the name of Umesh, who can be seen in this photograph with the Chief Minister himself.
This is a method to make voter and address verification difficult. This is not a mistake. This is not about homeless people. And we can show you, if you look at the list, just by looking at their faces and looking at what they're wearing, they're not homeless people. Here's another one. BJP leader, house number 150. 66 voters living in his house. 66 people do not live in his house. BJP man. Right? BJP Vice Chairman Zilla Parishad Palwal. He's allowed to have 66 voters on the list by saying they're in his house.
The Election Commission should come clean on these allegations. The rule is that if there are more than 10 names registered on one address, then physical verification is required. Rahul asks a valid question. Has the Election Commission ensured due verification at these addresses? And if so, how is it possible that 500 names, more than 500 names, are registered on one location? How is it possible that Rahul's teams has found 19 lakh bulk voters? If the Election Commission deleted 3.5 lakh voters before the election, then how did it miss these 19 lakh names?
Let's go to house number 265. One house, 500 voters. We go looking for them, we can't find them. They don't exist. We don't know where they are. Why? So that you have no way of checking whether these people exist, don't exist, where they vote, didn't vote, how they voted, etc. Here's another one, house number 1904 in Rai. That little house, 108 voters. Again, we sent a person, check. No such people existing over there. There's a rule. There's a rule. If there is a person, if there is a house that has more than 10 people living in it, there has to be ground verification. That's the EC rule. Was ground verification done of this, that there are 108 people living here and they don't exist? Was ground verification done of this BJP leader? 66 voters, he is saying they're living there. They don't live there. Was it done in these 500 cases? No. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on the list.
Rahul began his press conference in the tone of a whodunit. Ye kaun hai? He asks, showing the photo of what turns out to be a Brazilian model. Whatever happens, it is shocking to say the least that a Brazilian model's photo has found its way into the Haryana electorate, not once or twice, but 22 times. That she is given names like Rashmi, Vimla, Seema, Saraswati and Sweetie goes on to show that this is not just an accident. Rahul says that this particular case of the Brazilian model reveals a centralized intervention into the voter list, considering that these 22 instances were taken from 10 different booths. The Election Commission should not hide behind sources but should come to the fore and answer Rahul on record. Rahul's allegations are about the moral and the constitutional conduct of the highest office of this country's electoral machinery. He can be ridiculed or mocked that he has far too much free time on his hands, that he is not participating in the election, that he is travelling South America. But this is not about Rahul. This is not about the Congress or the opposition. This is about every single voter of this country. This is about you and the integrity of India's democratic processes. This is Vrinda.